those connected with us through our online channel. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Miroku Association USA West Coast Regional Center. On behalf of Reverend Nagasi and all the members, we would like to thank you for your participation in our October Appreciation Service. Let us take this time to express our gratitude to God and Mishu-sama for all the blessings bestowed upon us. Please pray along silently as we have the opening prayer to God.
Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, to whom the sacred divine scroll and altar have been dedicated. With hearts filled with gratitude, we have gathered here before you to celebrate our Miroku Association USA October monthly appreciation service. On this very special day, we would like to offer our prayers of praise and gratitude for the protection, help, and countless blessings we have received during this month. And we ask for permission to serve the divine plan as instruments of Meishu-sama more than ever before for the construction of the sacred grounds in North America and the establishment of paradise on earth. May we receive great light and spiritual strength to realize Meishu Sama's ideals of creating paradise in our hearts, our homes, our country, and in the world. Following the example of Meishu Sama's great love and his teachings, let us build a strong faith within ourselves. The sincere service for the salvation of humanity through our basic practice of faith, attending services, giving and receiving Jorei, guiding family and friends, volunteering our time and labor, and providing offerings of gratitude are the essence of our mission in the construction of paradise on earth. Through these guidelines, may we deepen our understanding of the importance of the mission of this church and our individual missions for the salvation of humanity. Please allow all who are here today in person and those who are attending our online service to be permeated by the power of your love and light, and thereby deepen the awareness of your presence and of the existence of your great plan. Great God of light, please accept our prayers of gratitude and monetary appreciation offerings. You strengthen and guide us in our service to you and to humanity.
Please rise and join us in the Matsurito, the prayer of heaven, followed by the Miroku prayer found in your program.
Takamahara kamzumarimasu.
かもろぎかもろみのみこともちて、すめみよやかむいさなきのみこと、つくしのひむかのたちらなの、ほどのあばきはらに、みそぎはらいたもときになりませる。 あらいどの神たち、もろもろのまがごとすみけがよ。あらいたまえ、清めたまえと申すことのよしよ。あまつ神、くにつ神、あおよすの神たちともに、 雨の淵駒の実振り立てて、ひとしめせとかしこみも回す。
弥勒を見かけ
守りたまえ、先はえたまえ。弥勒を見たみ、守りたまえ、先はえたまえ。
教えみよや主の神。
守りたまえ、先はえたまえ。教えみよや主の神。守りたまえ、先はえたまえ。
かんながら
魂はえませ。かんながら魂はえませ。
Great God of light, creating giver of all life,
In accordance with your divine will, The long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan, and for the privilege of channeling and receiving your ray. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified, as we live your truth, given to us by Meshu Sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives.
Great God of light,
Bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan.
Please be seated. We will now receive group jury.
So bless you.
Go ahead. Now hear Meishu Sama's teaching, Pragmatism in Religion. Pragmatism, which I feel is appropriate to refer to as a principle of philosophy in action, was originally introduced by the famous American philosopher Charles Sanders Peirce and became a world philosophy through William James, who, I understand, has come to be thought of as the originator. It isn't necessary for me to discuss pragmatism in depth, since those who have an interest in philosophy are already aware of it, but I do want to write about how it applies to religion. Though I have written on this before, I'm going to do so again to make certain my meaning is clear. It seems to be nothing new to speak of pragmatism in religion, since all of today's religions appear to be practicing just that. While it is true they promote their teachings through literature, sermons, prayers, and religious events, and some, as you all know, even urge members to practice self-denial and asceticism. Regrettably, these are not being put into action by their followers, the most important phase of pragmatism. The point of pragmatism is to use its philosophy in daily life, a very American viewpoint. Similarly, what I would like to advocate is applying religion in our everyday lives, or more correctly, making religion a daily life merge into an inseparable relationship. Therefore, more than anything else, I abhor our members becoming dogmatic, isolated, ideological, or having an attitude of being superior to others, behaviors that at times have been observed in followers of some religions. I would like our members to be as natural and genuine as other people in general, and to do their best not to give the impression of being too religious. I believe you should grow to the level where you have absorbed the teachings so well that you are actually living them, letting common sense guide your speech and actions in every way. Then you will transcend the appearance of adhering to a specific religion. This is what flexibility in action means. Let's hear from instructor Valeria Brinkers to share some announcements with us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm happy to
Microphone. Sorry.
She doesn't.
Good morning. So I'm happy to invite you to a new, to another, I should say, Ikebana workshop. It's about gratitude. It's for your Thanksgiving celebration. And we post this on the Facebook and Instagram. We're gonna guide you how to make a beautiful arrangement for you to place on your Thanksgiving celebration on your table. So this is a great opportunity for you to practice Meishu Sama's teachings about beauty. It's all about gratitude, beauty, and to share that with your friends and family. So it's gonna be on November 12th here and 11 a.m. It's gonna be on the conference room, and the donation, the minimum donation is $35. It's open to the public. Please invite your friends and family, and we can assure that you're gonna have a lot of fun. Okay? Thank you very much.
Well, we will now hear a faith experience.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Faith Experience Consuela Senzaki, Embu Guaçu Juray Center, Brazil. Consuela's work involving cosmetics has given her great enjoyment in her management role over a period of 9 years. However, since joining the company she is involved with, Consuela constantly experienced conflict with her supervisor. She perceived her boss a very difficult person to deal with, and certainly didn't align with many of her manager's attitudes toward both herself and her coworkers. As a consequence, Consuela all too often treated her boss unkindly and even offensively. One day, during the later part of 2019, Consuela reported to her minister what was going on. He guided her to pray and daily materialize a donation of gratitude dedicated for the spiritual growth of her boss and ancestors, to offer flowers of light to coworkers, as well to read daily the teaching Self-Control, Calmness. Consuela now confesses that initially she was very angry and even cried when she was supposed to feel grateful, because she really thought that her boss was the person in need to change. Despite the fact that she tried to control herself, she still clashed with her boss in numerous occasions. Nonetheless, little by little, her feelings changed. When her boss said something Consuela didn't like, instead of retaliating, she simply listened and only spoke when necessary. Over time, her boss noticed a transformation in Consuela's persona, and he himself experienced a shift in his attitude towards her. He became calmer, more pleasant, and actually began to interact positively with all the team's staff. Fascinating, her boss started to thank Consuela, gave her more support, and offered suggestions to further help her team develop. Ultimately, Consuela's sales result improved dramatically, and she has come to receive praise and recognition from the company. Today, her professional environment is much more harmonious and pleasant. She's very grateful to God and Meishu Sama, because through studying the teachings and engaging in our practice of faith, her attitude and perspective have changed, as has the way she can deal with virtually any situation. Consequently, Consuela is continually gaining more trust and respect from others. Her commitment is to continue following Meishu's footsteps and do her best for the salvation and happiness of others. Thank you very much.
would like to invite Reverend Rodrigo Nagase to share some thoughts with us.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
morning.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Thank you very much for coming. Welcome to our monthly appreciation service. And thank you, everybody watching from home as well. Also, thank you for the effort that you all do every day to further Mission Summer's plan to save humanity, to extend Jure, extend all the teachings of Mission Summer to as many people as possible. We are having so many beautiful activities, like Instructor Valeria said about the workshop. I know that we have been having many workshops and classes, so I'm really happy with that. And also, we're having many jury gatherings. Of course, we know that in Dallas they do every month, and they did yesterday as well. And we have in San Diego jury gathering in Torrance we started this week, and I heard it was very good. And soon we will have in the Valley and Reseda. Soon at the Cortez family, they are also planning to have jury gatherings as well. Thank you very much. Last week I was in Minneapolis visiting a beautiful family, Oliver and Mappy family and their lovely children, 8 years old Vanya, 2 years old Tiara, and one, I think it's 3, and 2 years old Ethan. They are so beautiful and they're so busy with the kids. And we did a beautiful ceremony for their home altar dedication. And also Vanya, the oldest daughter, received the shoko as well. They are constantly participating on our live videos and study sections. So I was very happy to go there. It's my first time going to Minneapolis, and because Vanya has special needs, then they moved to Minneapolis because that city offers many programs, and the community is very strong for kids in need. I didn't know that they have programs that help the kids to develop until they're 21. So they teach people, they teach the kids, they help them to learn, to educate themselves, and also to even get jobs that can they do. So it's an amazing community. I was so happy to be there and see everybody helping each other. It was so amazing. And of course, we are having a pilgrimage to the sacred grounds this coming this month, right? October 24th. We're almost there. And as I said last service, if you want me to take some prayer forms, donations, or anything to the sacred grounds, let me know. I will happily do for you, represent all of you. We will be there with 10 members. Reverend Mark Nickrell, our president, will be leading the group, and I will be helping organize everything else. So we are very happy to have that pilgrimage. Of course, we know that in Brazil, November 2nd is the annual ancestor service, and many groups from many countries will come and join us in that celebration. They are expecting more or less 35,000 people to get together that day. So please, if you have the opportunity, watch online as well. October, it is fall already, right? And for me, it's one of the most beautiful seasons of the year. Living in Japan, in many places of Japan, you can see colorful trees and leaves. And here in Minneapolis, I saw a lot of colorful trees. Here, if you go to the mountains, you can see many colorful trees as well. And I Googled Alton, and something very beautiful came up, and I would like to share with you some of the quotes that I saw there. So Alton is generally regarded as the end of the growing season. Also known as the harvest season, autumn ushers in a time of celebration for many farming cultures when they gather in their crops, right? So they gather all the crops, they harvest it and prepare for the winter, right? Other quote says, fall is the end of many things, but it can also represent the beginning. Take a cue from the spiritual and use this season to help you find the balance you need. Right? One very interesting quote that I found says, the trees are about to show us how lovely it is to let the dead things go. Right? Because the leaves are dying, so they just fall gracefully. They just fall, and we feel beautiful, but actually they're dying, right? And this quote says that they show us, right, to let go of things that is dead, our attachment situations that we are going through, and sometimes they are not useful to us anymore. Things that sometimes years ago hurt ourselves, and we are still feeling that situation as it was today. So it is a good analogy to look at the trees and say that a new season is coming, right? To a new beginning is coming. And I felt very interesting to share with you that. And the one last one, there is something so special in the early leaves drifting from the trees, as if we are all to be allowed to change a chance to build, to refresh, and to start again, right? So let's keep striving to grow and starting again, right? We always say the importance of coming back to, in Japanese we call shoshinsha, right? Which is the principle of a beginner, of a rookie. So always trying to be as maybe natural or pure as it is, like a child. If you see childs today, as I saw the three beautiful children in Minneapolis, they don't have any attachment, right? They just want to live freely, and that's important. I think all seasons, when it comes again, we can renew ourselves and reflect what we have done this year, but still we have many things to do, so we can renew ourselves and start over again. And of course, for the kids, October means Halloween, right? So I think you all are preparing your costumes as well, right? Please don't come to the service with costumes. Would be funny, right? But enjoy yourself. It's a happy moment. Be careful with the sweets for kids and for yourselves as well. But it's I think it's a month that we start getting to the end of the year, a lot of celebrations, and we can enjoy ourselves with our families. And for us in the church, October is also a very special, bittersweet time, because that was the month that Reverend Watanabe passed away. He was one of the most important ministers in our organization since its inauguration. He passed on October 5th, 9 years ago, and he was one of the ministers as an example of faith and practice of faith to all of us. He have been here many times. He had a great sonning, a great object for the United States, because maybe some, of course, had a very special thought for the United States. And he came here last time in 2007 and gave to the ministers a lecture, and he was so happy to come here again. And he came here in LA, New York, and I think was Miami as well, right? And he was responsible also to inaugurate the first sacred grounds outside Japan, right? In Japan, we have 3 sacred grounds, and the first one was in Brazil. Guarapiranga Sacred Grounds was the first sacred grounds outside Japan. Was a great deal to the whole church. And in 2000, he became the head minister of the worldwide Jorei movement. So he led us for years, for decades in Brazil and the world as well. The first time that I heard one poem of Meishu Sama, I was very young, and I right away said, this is Reverend Tanabe. And the poem says, a person who strives constantly to help others and better the world is like a diamond buried in the sand, right? And he was that person, and he believed that we all could be that person. He formed many ministers as myself, and the majority of the ministers that are doing world expansion are Brazilians, because he was the one with the big dream of extending all the teachings of Meishu Sama to the world. His father, Katsuichi Watanabe Sensei, was one of the disciples of Meishu Sama and also a disciple of Reverend Sosai Shibui, one of the most famous reverends in our church early in the days with Meishu Sama. So this continuity of great ministers that bring what Meishu Sama believed was possible to us, make us still find ways to expand our church. He had even a dream, Reverend Tanabe, right? To have a city based in Meishu Sama's teachings, everything. And in Brazil, he almost got it, but I think it wasn't time yet. But he was planning with one city, a small city in the countryside of São Paulo. And the mayor loved the idea, right, to have everywhere nature farming, to have everywhere an alternative method of helping people to restore their health, helping families to really build a better place, a better home for them. And he almost got it, right? He shared once that he planned his life 1 year when he was very young, and he had to stop for a while, for 1 year, doing expansion work. And he used that time to put it down, to write it down, everything that he wanted to be in 5 years, and then other 5 years, and then other 5 years, until he was 65 when he retired. And he said that putting that down helped him realize and envision his life in the future, right? And I always share that how important it is for us to write down our goals and what we want to accomplish, not just keep going. We know that in our minds we have, but when we write down, it is something that changed completely. And he also was always used it as a guidance as well. Me personally, he taught many things. When we got married, he looked at Janaina and said, "Are you sure? Are you sure what you're doing? I thought I had a great mission, but him? Oh, you have a great mission. Good luck." But he said something interesting for both of us. He said that he looked in our eyes, right, and said, "You know that from now on, you share mission. You share a very special mission. So even though you give your best, if your wife is not supporting you or vice versa, we will hard to accomplish anything in your life." So that's why a couple, a marriage is very important to support each other, right? And to really build a trust between them so you can really build something great in your life, right? He always taught us, and especially me, I was a very young minister, he taught me about giving 100% of yourself in everything you do. And that is something maybe we always hear, but to do it is something else, right? And I thought about that for many years, about how can I put into practice this guidance. And I asked him many times, how do I give my 100%, or how do I know I am giving my 100%, right? And he said that is very simple. When you're giving your 100%, things go smoothly. When you give less than that, or you put your ego, not your primary spirit, things don't go as you expected. You feel tired, you feel frustrated, is because you're not giving 100%. And then I said, well, but if I give 100%, I don't feel tired. He said, that's a mistake. Because you think that 100% is your body, but it's not your body, it's your spirit. To put yourself in something you're doing with all your whole spirit is different. People sometimes work with their body and they are just going with no interest or no feeling. And he said, we need to put ourselves into that expansion. Faith is like that, right? Jorei as well, right? When we learn about Jorei, we learn that we don't need to think or say or do anything special, but you need to be in that moment, not just your mind going somewhere. You need to be in that moment. You need to be mindful, right? In the service as well, we are praying together. Sometimes we pray, we think about, okay, that game that I missed, I have to go back home and watch that game, right? Or, oh, I need to call my mom. And why we're praying? Oh, am I praying? Yes. So being that moment is to be 100%. I always say sometimes that to be 100% in something when you're greeting somebody, for instance, very simple thing. Hi. To greet somebody with your 100% love is to really look at that person, give everything you have in that greeting. So he used to say, Reverend Talami used to say, when you greet somebody, regardless of what you're going through in life, if you consider that person and you want that person to be happy, just put everything you're going through aside and greet that person with everything you have. And every time that you do that, their gratitude, because they feel good about you, to see you, and their gratitude will transform your life into a better life. So the accumulation of these small things every time that we do something, giving 100% and giving yourself away to help somebody. This was the motto of Reverend Talami, right? Reverend Marco shared one guidance from Reverend Tanabe, and I think was amazing guidance, and I would like to share with you. That's a gift to all of us, and that will be the message today. So these are all words of Reverend Tanabe. Okay? Meishu Sama taught us in his teaching titled Create Paradise Within Yourself, which is found in the book Teachings of Meishu Sama Volume 3, that in order to create paradise, paradise must reside in our hearts. And having paradise in one's heart means there can be no suffering in one's mind. The best way to negate suffering is through gratitude. In this way, paradise will reign within one's own mind. People are naturally grateful when pleasant events happen to them. On the other hand, it is difficult to be grateful when they face challenging situations. The phrase negate suffering through gratitude might make you wonder how you can actually change your thoughts and attitudes. I would like to suggest 3 ways that you may wish to try. First, I will suggest you that you free yourself from the suffering that you are attracted with and search for seeds of gratitude by focusing on the suffering that you may have been enduring. Suffering can become more and more problematic if someone stays attached to it. However, when we turn our focus away from the suffering, you will often be able to find a positive solution or outcome. When you find yourself in trouble, make sure someone will speak to you and encourage you by saying, leave everything up to me. Even though you are befuddled as to what to do and are deeply concerned, trust in me. Allow yourself to relax and look around you. Even for a moment, find something you can be grateful for. When faced difficulties, it is up to you whether you deplore the situation or find gratitude for what you are encountering. Each of us has the freedom to choose, a gift granted us by God. The second recommendation is an active one, and it is to be grateful for the suffering itself. A proverb says, adversity makes one wise. When I began my expansion work, I was not successful in persuading others to pursue Jure. I used up all the money I had, and because of my failures, I became desperate, lonely, and hungry. During this period of time, I also lost 3 children and 3 ministers. These 3 ministers, who were trained by Reverend Watanabe, sadly died in a car accident. I was unable to accept that I was going through at the time and could not control my anger or get beyond my sorrow. I kept asking myself, why do I must go through such suffering? I later realized that due to those difficult situations, I was able to grow and develop powerful divine strength within me. I feel that no doubt my previous experiences have shaped me to become the person I am today. I understand that each difficulty was given to me by God as a gift. I would say that this awareness is one of the greatest blessings I have received, and because of this, I find myself able to perceive adversities as blessings, and I can be grateful for them. We often complain that we cannot receive blessings as quickly as we expect. However, it is important to interpret your purification as a way through which God is utilizing you in the divine plan. Based on this heavenly view of purification, we can develop our faith by transforming our lives' challenges into positive, spiritually uplifting events. And the third and last spiritual recommendation is the one that requires you to be most proactive. It is to master the way of thinking that will allow the joy of others to be my own as well. Indeed, helping, giving joy to, and pleasing others can be the most extraordinary experience in our lives. Meishu Sama taught us that if things do not seem to turn out for the best, it means you still have a substantial amount of clouds. The essence of our spiritual practice is to remove these clouds joyously. This can be done by being of help and service to others. If you do so, gratitude from other people will continuously flow to you, and your soul will be purified. Meishu Sama strongly recommended that we help, serve, and give joy to others rather than practice asceticism or other rigorous training of self-denial. I believe that there are 2 kinds of faith. One is like a childish faith, and the other more of an adult form of faith. The childish faith manifests when a person's happiness is based upon receiving blessings for oneself through prayers and requests for God's assistance. There is an intermediate interval between childish and adult faith. It can be best understood by observing people who help others motivated primarily by their desire to receive blessings for themselves. The adult faith involves a selfless attitude and is based upon a sincere desire to help others without seeking any reward. A person who exhibits adult faith finds that when he or she helps to make others truly happy, they themselves will experience great joy over the outcome and are sincerely happy for that person. I think that what makes someone wants us to achieve this adult level of faith and have it nurtured within us so that we can experience true joy in life. I am certain that by taking small steps toward making others happy, we are assuring ourselves of attaining an enlightened level of faith. Once you have mastered the way of making others happy, and it becomes an integral part of your being, people around you might say, somehow you make me feel cared for, relaxed, and comfortable. You find that many people will be attracted to you. Your spiritual clouds will gradually be removed, and your divinity will be uplifted and refined. You will become more trusted and will naturally experience a happier existence. By continuously doing good deeds, I believe that we can progressively reach a high spiritual level, just as Meishu Sama teaches us through his inspirational teaching. I have learned to make others happy, so much so that it has become almost my favorite pastime. Subsequently, we can truly be used as instrument of his divine work, and we will be spiritually allowed to manifest a seed of paradise within ourselves. We will ultimately then become residents of this divine state, paradise. This is the message from Reverend Tanabe. I'd like to thank you again. Have a great day.
This concludes our monthly appreciation service. Thank you for your attendance and your continued service. Be safe, and may God and Meishu Sama bless you all.
Gracias. Sí,
Será que tem jeito de eu usar aquele computador para fazer uma sign-up list? Tem?